everybody, welcome back to Meals with Marsha. Today I'm going to be doing some Instapot Pinto Beans with ham. I'm excited to show you this. It cuts down a lot of time when you're doing homemade pinto beans. Back in the day, you'd have to soak them overnight. Then you'd have to put them on the stove and cook them and cook them and cook them and keep adding water and stir. But this just takes a lot of that hassle out and you still get really, really good beans. Anyway, let's get started. All right, the first thing is I've got my Instapot out. This is a larger Instapot. I had a smaller one that my daughter had given me, but I could only do 1 pound of pinto beans at a time, and I like to do 2 pounds of dried pinto beans because I feed a lot of people and I cook a lot, and if I do it at one time like that, then I can separate it and I can freeze it. I'm going to show you how to do all that. But first thing I wanted to tell you is I just get a 2 pound bag of the dried pinto beans, any brand you want. I think I got these at Walmart, that's fine. And I put them in my colander, and I took them over to the sink, and I just rinsed them really good and just tossed them on my hands while I was running them under water. Now, most of the beans are really good. Sometimes you'll find some that look kind of bad. You can kind of look through there. Like that one doesn't look too good. And, but you'll just get very minimal that looks bad. That one's kind of shriveled up. It doesn't look good. And also, the reason for rinsing the beans is sometimes there'll be little black rocks in here in these bags. Maybe they'll miss one. So you want to make sure you pick all that out. Let's see. Let me make sure I got everything. These look pretty good. There's another one that might be. But you just kind of go through and see. And if they kind of look like brown or shriveled up, you know, just kind of pull those out. But like I said, you won't have very many. We grew up eating pinto beans. My Mama Betty cooked them all the time. Seems like she always had a pot on the stove, and we love them with cornbread, but we also love them with ham. And like I said, I'm going to explain to you how I do this recipe, and y'all will see it's just going to turn out great. All right, so I got my Instapot. It's plugged up, and it's just on off right now, but I want to open this up, put this there, and I always put a paper towel down in there. And then here's a couple of accessories that go with it, but I'm not going to be using those today, so I'm just going to set those aside. And I'll throw this paper towel away later. All right, so this is the insert of the Instapot, and it comes out just like this, but I'm just going to pour everything in there. And there's a fill line. Let me get right here. Right here is the fill line. It says the max. That's the max that you need to fill with anything, any kind of liquid or anything. So that's going to be important to us here in just a little bit. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do, I got my beans washed and I've picked through them, so I'm going to go ahead and pour them in my pot. Now this is 2 pounds. You do not have to do 2 pounds, but I choose to because I can make them up and freeze them. And they, instead of having to, you know, drag all this out and do it, it makes it easier. Now, let me set this over to the sink. Now, I'll scoot this just a little bit closer. Now, I want to talk to you about my ham. A lot of times at Easter time or, you know, Sunday dinner or Christmas or whatever, we'll always cook a ham. And it's usually a bone-in spiral sliced ham. Well, I don't have one of those today, but if I did, I would just, what I do is after we eat most of the ham off, there'll be still some stuck on the bone. I just put that in the freezer and I freeze it in a freezer bag. And then if I had one of those, I would be adding that to my pot today. But like I said, I don't have it. So when I do not have a ham bone, I use chunked up ham. Now they have packages at the store and it's kind of shrink wrapped and it's the little ham cubes. This is perfect for that. But what I had done is I had found a half of a ham, a boneless ham, and you can see the end of it right here. And we had cut it into thick slices and we had frozen it in the our deep freeze for, like, you know, ham biscuits or for pinto beans with ham, whatever we want to use it for. And I've cut most of it up already. I would say this is about 1 pound, maybe 1.5 pounds all together. If I was just doing 1 pound of beans, I would do 1/2 pound of meat or just 1 ham bone. And like I said, this will be about 2 pounds. I'm sorry, 1.5 pounds. I'm crazy. All right, so anyway, there's the end. I just want to show you how I chunk it up. And ham flavors beans so well. Some people put bacon in their beans, but ham is what we like to season our beans with. Let me get that. Okay. Now, so what I'm going to do As all this is chunked up, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put it over in the Instapot with my beans. See if I can get all of that in there. And like I said, this is going to make quite a bit, guys, and it's really, really good. And it feeds a lot of people, and it's going to give you several meals. Okay? And then we're going to add our water. Now, this is an 8-cup measuring cup, and it don't pour really good, so y'all hang on. Hopefully I won't spill it everywhere. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, that did not fill it up all the way, so I'm going to have to go get some more water. I would say more than likely about 11 to 12 cups is what we're going to need, but let me go get some more and I'll see. That was 8. This is 7 more. I'm not sure if I'm going to need it all, but that was 8. And let me pour. This does not pour easy. I'm telling y'all, it's aggravating. Looks like it's going to take 1 more cup, so it's going to take 16 cups of water. Because you want to fill your water all the way up to the fill line, guys, because these beans are going to absorb, you know, they're going to suck up all that water as you cook them. Now, you're going to stir this really good after you do that. Like I said, fill your water all the way up to the max fill line. And that looks like it's going to be about 15 or 16 cups. All right, you're going to stir that up real good because you don't want any dry beans stuck on the bottom. Okay. And now we're going to put some salt in there. Now, your ham is already salty, but you want a little bit. I'm going to put maybe like a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Maybe 3/4 teaspoon just in case. Because this is 2 pounds. Stir again. All right. Now, there we go. Got that. So now we're going to put our Instapot lid on. Get it around here. All right, now, on the Instapot, there is a gauge that says sealing and venting. You want to make sure it's turned to sealing because you want it to seal so it will build up pressure and cook your beans. Now, mine has a bean and chili setting. I'm going to click that, and it says it's normal pressure for 39 minutes. I'm going to cook these for 41 minutes. And you just turn it to 41, and then the keep warm setting is on. Excuse me. The keep warm setting is on. So here in a second, it's going to ding. Now it's on. So it's going to start building pressure, and it's going to cook these. And then it'll take a while. It'll take 41 minutes once the pressure builds up. Then the pressure has to go down. So it's going to be a little while. But when I'm finished, I will come back and I will show you how I separate it, how I put it on the stove and thicken it up, and how I store them in the freezer. Okay? I'll be back in a little while. Hi everybody, welcome back to Meals with Marsha. Now I have put my pinto beans and my ham in the crock pot, and I set it for 41 minutes, and it took about 40 minutes for the pressure to build up, and then it took 41 minutes to cook it. And now I've been letting the pressure go down. Now it's getting pretty close, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this to vent so it'll finish the pressure. It's barely going. It's pretty much done. So let's finish venting that real quick. Take just a second. And then once I get all that out, I'm going to open it up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate it into 2 plastic containers because I'm going to be putting one of these in the refrigerator. I'm going to eat that later this week, and the other one's going into the freezer. It's getting close. This makes a good amount, and it is so, so good to put up. You know, just a few more minutes. You want to wait till that red button pops down and the steam is no longer out. You want it to stop doing that. And then it'll be safe to open. So like I said, 40 minutes for the pressure to build up, 41 minutes to cook, and then it's probably been about 40 more minutes that I've just let it sit here and some of the pressure go out. And like I said, I'm ready to open it, so I completely vented it. So no more steam's coming out. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it. And when you open this, you wanna turn the handle toward you so any steam that goes that way and not into your face, because it's very hot. So do it like this, okay? And I'm gonna stir it up really good. And guys, these look amazing. They smell amazing too. Don't know if you can see that. Okay. Now, what I like to do, and like I said, this is very hot. I'm going to bring this. I was going to try to get it out. Sometimes I can get the thing out and it makes it easier. See if I can do that today. Let's see here. You got to get a good grip on it because it's kind of heavy. Get a good grip, hold tight, and set it on. Set something under it because it's super duper hot. All right, now I'm just going to turn this off. Now, if you went to work, if you had to go to work today and you're like, I can't get those out until I get back home, that's fine, because what that's going to do, the steam and the pressure's going to go down, and that's going to keep, it's going to keep them warm for you. So you shouldn't have any problem with that. So now I'm going to fill these. So I'm just going to go back and forth between these pans and fill them up. I'm going to scoop this one up close too. I'm going to get beans, and then I'm going to do juice, beans and juice. And there's already some good juice in this, guys. But what's going to make it even better is when you put it on the stove. So what you're going to do is you're going to freeze these, or I'm going to put some of them in the refrigerator. And then when you're ready to do them, you're just going to put them in a big pot. And you're going to make sure there's enough juice in there, because you are going to just bring them to a boil on the stove, and you're going to, once they come to a boil, you're going to turn them down to about medium low, and you're going to let them simmer until this juice thickens up. Now there's a lot of juice in here, but it's kind of thin. If you'll see, it's kind of thin. You want that to thicken up, because you want, like, soup beans is what we like, but it will get there. Let me see if I can get a few more beans in this side, and then I'll start pouring the juice. But guys, this is so delicious, and it makes a lot. Now, if you wanted to do them all at the same time, if you had a bunch of people coming over and you just needed 2 big old amounts, you just do all of it together and heat it up. But what we'll do is we'll have these for dinner, and then we'll have some left over, and I'll just leave them in the fridge and we'll eat on them the rest of the week. And then the other one will go in the freezer. But you have to let it cool completely. Let me go get a spoon that has a hole in it, so I can make sure I get all my beans evenly distributed. Let's see here. Get that one in. Then I'll get that out. And remember, this is 2 pounds of beans that we did here. And that's good. 2 pounds is good. And you can see they're cooked. They just need to be thickened up, and that's how you do it, is on the stove, like I was talking about. And like I said, you probably have to simmer them. Once you put them on the stove, you probably have to simmer them for about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. It'll thicken that juice up in there, and they'll be delicious. And you can check the seasoning. If you need to put some more salt in there, you can. But there's quite a bit. I put quite a bit in there to start with, plus the ham is going to flavor that really well. And if I did a ham bone at this point, what I would do is I would try to pull as much of the bone out as I could, and then leave the ham shards that come off the bone in there. Okay, let's get this one filled up. And like I said, it's going to completely fill up both those. You don't want to leave anything in there, guys, because this is good eating. Alright, there's that, and that's cleaned out. Now, like I said, I'm going to leave these sitting here for a while, and I'm going to let them cool. And when they cool, I'm going to put the lids on, and one's going to go in the fridge, and one's going to go in the freezer. And we're going to enjoy these beans. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Meals with Marsha, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.